LEGO wheel hubs. Which LEGO wheel hub to use on what project? This is LEGO part 92909, or a standard wheel hub. It actually can fit multiple wheel hub housings, such as this one. I would call this a standard wheel hub housing, being part 11950. Very simply, they can just click into each other like so, and then you attach the housing part to your LEGO model car, etc., and basically a wheel, assuming you have a tyre on it, will simply click to the wheel hub, and you basically have a spinning wheel and wheel hub. I'd mainly use your basic wheel hub in this circumstance for maybe vehicles like just a standard car or a racing vehicle, for example, or something that's low to the ground. Can't do too much with it. It's not very good for steering, but I'd certainly okay to be used for rear axles, and preferably something that's a vehicle that's lower to the ground, like a racing car. Once again, I have the 9209 wheel hub. I've already got it in a wheel hub housing. This particular housing, which is part number 92908, these are very good for vehicles that you need a lot of clearance from the ground, like four-wheel drive vehicles, for example. I've actually already put some gears or bevel gears into this particular hub housing. As you can see, we can easily attach a wheel, and you imagine the clearance from that from the ground, and if I put a bit of maybe a universal joint in like so, then as you can see, it actually gives me a lot of ground clearance, which is really good for four-wheel drives. And also notice my gear ratio is a little bit different too, because I'm using a 12-tooth bevel gear onto a 20-tooth bevel gear. Then as I turn my axle, my wheels spinning a little bit faster, just because of that gear ratio difference. Okay, once again I'm using the wheel hub 92909, but this time it's inside the hub housing, which is part 23801, which is actually ideal for steering, especially if it's on the front of a vehicle. I suppose you can get steering on the back of vehicles, but mainly used on the front of vehicles. And as you can see, let's say I'll just use this axle as a pivot point, for example, and might be able to put a little tow ball in like so, and as you can see, I can connect a steering link, and that can be used to steer my front wheels. Either side would work. You can put the link of the tow ball on the other side. It will still work exactly the same. So this hub housing is very good for steering. This particular wheel hub and housing, especially the hub, is actually not the traditional 920909 hub. As you can see, it is very similar but slightly different. So this is actually not the same. I'm actually going to put this other one aside. This particular wheel hub and housing comes out in the new Extreme 4x4 set. I think it's 42099 set, which is an Extreme 4x4 vehicle. And as you can see, it's all one unit. You can't actually, well, I wouldn't recommend you try and pull this apart, because it really comes as one unit. Now these are a lot more pricier, but there's a reason for it. If you look closely, I'll try and turn this. See, maybe if I can put a wheel to it, might be able to see it a little bit better. And while I'm at it, I'll add a CV joint, so we just be able to see what's going on a little bit easier. So I just push my CV joint into the back like so, and I'll spin this around manually, and you might be able to see this, but as you can see, pretending my finger is a motor of some sort, and I'm spinning it. As you can see, I'm actually spinning this round, and the axle is moving way quicker than the actual wheel's actually moving. So if I actually count how many revolutions I actually turn my finger around as opposed to how many revolutions the wheel actually spins around, I think you'll find 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's about 6-to-1 ratio here. I don't know the exact ratio, but it's about 6-to-1, which means this wheel hub is already geared down about 6-to-1, which means you don't have to worry about gearing it down in your differential, etc. So this is extremely good for four-wheel drives where you want a lot of low speed but a lot of grunt, a lot of power. So I find these extremely good for four-wheel drives, lots of power, low speed, but also hence why they're a bit more expensive.